What's going on? Mijo. For Miami's Party Station Power 96. We are chilling with my man. Hold up. I hope that you finish it though. Taylor.
Gang.
Let's go. Wiz Khalifa.
What's up, dude?
And my brother DJ Bonics, man.
Let's go.
We are backstage right now. We celebrating hip hop, but we backstage at Tortuga Festival, which is awesome.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah.
That's how hip hop does, man.
Hip hop has grown.
Exactly, right? So, man, look, to give this conversation a little bit of context, right? This is the exact definition of one degree of separation when it comes to people, right? Because me and Bonics go back, and now here we are, right? But that's a whole nother story, bro.
That's fire.
Yeah, man. That's a whole nother story. Cushion OJ, man, I saw you tweeted today. Cushion OJ, today, 13 years ago.
Yeah.
Can we talk about that for a little bit?
It's cool, man. I dropped the mixtape. It's now an album, but I dropped it 13 years ago. I was in Miami the day that I dropped it, so I actually launched it from here, like officially. You know, this is where the rocket took off at, or where the baby was born.
Okay.
And yeah, it's really cool, man. Just to return here, be here around this time. I just remember the feeling. I was on tour. I was just ripping it up. And when I got to Miami, I'd seen the beach, the water, I felt the weather, I was smoking weed, I had my hair out, I was like, man, I was like, this is the perfect place to drop it at. And just refilling those feelings and, you know, having new music on the way, being on tour, having a tour on the way, it just gets me really excited.
Yeah, man. I mean, look, and forgive me if I may think otherwise, right? But to me, Cushion OJ was definitely the album or the mixtape at the time that kind of gave you that momentum forward, right? I mean, like before that, I really hadn't known who you were, man.
Right.
You know? Where was the vision for you at that point in time, man? Because you're like, what, 22 at the time? You were young,
I don't even know. It's 13 years, so I don't remember. But yeah, probably 22. I think that's the math. But for me, it was like a steady climb, you know what I'm saying? It was something that I had been working on for a minute, just developing my sound and trying to figure out what I wanted to bring to the game. And really, you know, I landed on Cushion Orange Juice, but there was Star Power, there's Prince of the City, there's Prince of the City 2. So all of these things like helped me to get to where I was at. Sonically, and I think, you know, just the culmination of the internet, me being on tour, me being a really fresh young new face, smoking a lot of weed and doing what the hell I wanted to do, that was, you know, Cushion Oranges became like the Bible for that. Bruh. And if people hadn't been into that before, that was their opportunity to dive into it with us and become tailored.
Man, there's so much that you said there, so I don't even know where to start. But like at the time, Cushion OJ, man, we talking 13 years ago in a place where we'll call it cannabis, marijuana, weed, whatever you want to call it, right? Yeah. Man, it's not what it was like today, right? Okay, so can you speak on business-wise, bro? And I got to get to Bonics soon, bro, because I saw you rocking the Hardin and everything, right? Like, man, from a business level, talk about, bro, like we've gone 13 years later, this means completely different. And I feel like we don't speak about this often, what marijuana, whatever you want to call it, what it means to the culture of hip hop, the fabric of what is the music and just the culture in general.
Yeah, I think it just brings people together in general. I love, you know, hip hop, but I'm more of like an alternative rap artist. You know, I'm not your traditional, you know, hip hop dude. And weed has been able to cross genres for me with everybody, whether it's a reggaeton artist or funk artist from Brazil or somebody in Korea or whatever. We all, you know, tap in and smoke weed. Even I smoked weed with a nigga who was like one of the main symphony orchestra niggas. He's like the Beethoven of our time. And nigga sat down and smoked weed and broke down some of my music to me in a way that I never even understood it. Beautiful. So it's a language of its own. And weed has always been universal. It's always brought people together. It's just less frowned upon now. And I think it's being looked at as something that's not just one or two crowds, but something that is good for everybody. And of course, the medicinal benefits of it, you know, a lot of people are seeing those benefits as well. So, you know, it's a great time to be into pot. It's a great time to learn about it and experiment with it and have your own responsible interaction with some good-ass weed. Khalifa Kush, if I do say so.
Man, you segue in it perfectly, bro. All right, man, without hip-hop, right? Without Wiz Khalifa, right? I mean, bro, excuse me, without the DJ, right? Man, the importance of the DJ in hip-hop, man. I've known Bonics for years, bro. Me and Bonics go back, right? Can y'all, the both of y'all, speak of, what has been that relationship like for, because man, Bonics been with you for a grip, right? Like what's the foundation, right? Like what is it like now compared to when it was back in 2010 we were speaking, right? When he first hopped on, and how important is it to have, I mean, look, I'm gonna give Bonics his flowers in front of you, right? Because this is my dude right here, man. This is a DJ's DJ, you feel me? Like this isn't just a DJ that's up on stage doing whatever, and no disrespect, right? But as someone who loves the DJ culture, what is there's got to be significance to that, right?
Yeah. Being from Pittsburgh, you know, we have a really rich hip hop culture and really rich musical culture. So anybody who does what they do, they're very knowledgeable about that. They didn't just run up on it and become popular at it. And Bonics put in all the work, and he still puts in the work. And, you know, he has a lot of musical ideas that make him more than just a DJ. And that's what, you know, a real artist DJ companionship is. It's just the transfer of ideas. You know what I'm saying? And it's like we come together, and I do what I do in the studio, and we're able to bring that shit to life because we're both dope as fuck at what we do. And if it wasn't like that, then it wouldn't work like that.
I mean, I love it because it's just, for me, it's always like a culture play. And, you know, I was supporting Wiz even before I was a DJ. I was just excited about a kid from Pittsburgh. And, you know, even speaking on the Cushion Oranges, when that tape dropped, that's when Wiz asked me to go on tour. I remember LeBron tweeting, mesmerized, and being like, oh my God.
No, but there's some cuts on that.
I love, you know, Wiz has respect to music. So we're both Virgo boys. So sometimes I feel like on stage, we got like this same brain going on, and he doesn't even have, like, we don't even have to like tell each other sometimes. But he's by himself, he's a cultural artist. You know what I'm saying? By himself, he stands for a generation and for, you know, for a culture, which is not only hip hop, but weed culture. And matter of fact, shout out to the fact we're in Florida and he's got his own strain down here, Cleveland.
Yeah, there's a lot, man.
We used to duck and weave in cities.
I went to jail down this motherfucker
and now
for smoking weed, yo.
He like to see that he is like making money off. That's the blueprint that I feel like young people should be following and he's still staying true. Look, he's smoking weed.
Hold on.
Now, you know
so let me get back to that, Wiz. You said you got locked down here in Miami, in South Florida?
I got locked up. I was in Broward County.
Shit, what? You got to speak on that. We in Broward right now, bro.
Shout out to Broward County.
Wow, man. I didn't know that.
Hell yeah. A lot of people don't know that. I mean, that ain't part of my legacy, you know what I'm saying? But you got to pay the cost to be the boss.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I never really was doing anything that bad anyway. It's just smoking pot.
Smoking weed, bro. Yeah. Hey, all right, cool. The both of y'all, to me, right? Musical backgrounds, man. I mean, you know, you're someone that, I mean, Wiz, for anyone that doesn't know, I mean, I feel like we got to know this, right, man? You lived in a lot of places, right, before settling in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
You know, Bonics, bro, I know his background when it comes to music. Like, what are, my man Mike Street at 106.5 The Beat, shouts to 106.5 The Beat out in Richmond. He spoke to Maceo from De La Soul, right? And he had mentioned how like karate films for him in the 90s was very influential. Right, for that sound.
Right.
You know, growing up, the both of y'all, man, what was something that like was grabbing your attention that you feel like, man, the sound that I produce today is because of whatever from the book?
Yeah. Pimp movies.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna just let it be what it is.
Yeah.
I love karate films. I love karate flicks. But I get my flavor from the pimp movies, man. Real shit.
Can you drop one? Can you name one?
Of course, like Superfly, like, you know, the original Superfly.
Yep.
That's a classic. But there's a bunch. I mean, you know, but not just the ones about pimping, the blaxploitation movies in general. Just the characters being strong, black, and, you know, they did karate as well. Yeah. So they all knew kung fu too. Yeah. And just being cool, you know what I'm saying? Having a swag about you, being about your business, being a ladies' man, you dig what I'm saying? Being smooth. I like to drive old school cars. I like to listen to, you know, Isley Brothers and Al Green and shit like that. Love it. So that's definitely my vibe. But also, like, you know, 90s and 2000s buddy films, too. I love comedy movies and just funny-ass shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, of course, weed movies, but just adventure movies with two people or four people where, you know what I mean, the storyline is really good. I enjoy those, and that comes off a lot of my music as well, especially like with the more crossover records that sound like college anthems and shit like that. You know, that comes from, you know, watching fucking American Pie and Old School and shit like that. You know what I mean?
I think like basketball for me, for sure. I was a big Barkley fan, Sixers. So, you know, what's that movie with Tupac?
Above the Rim.
And White Man Can't Jump, and all those like basketball, Air Bud.
Yeah.
No,
Those are. I mean, with the exception of Air Bud.
Nah, fuck it. You know, Air Bud.
No, shout out to Air Bud.
He had like 3 movies.
He did.
He did have to man. There was like Air Bud Jr.
Shout out to Air Bud, though. Shout out to Air Bud.
I love it. Yeah, no, man. Those are very specific snapshots in time that, you know, obviously feed into what hip hop is today. All right, man. I know there's a lot going on, so I'm gonna leave you with this next one, bro. The next time we talk, though, I really want to talk to you about some dad stuff, bro. Because I just recently had a kid. So
congratulations!
Thank you, bro.
It's the best thing ever. You got a boy or girl?
I got a girl, so
congrats.
You know, it's crazy, but we'll talk about that another time.
Cool.
I do have to ask this question, because if I don't, why is it important to celebrate hip hop for you, for Wiz? Why is it important for Wiz to celebrate hip hop? And second, well, go ahead, answer that, and I'll hit you with the last one.
It's important for me to celebrate hip hop because of how much it affected my life, how much I was influenced and still am influenced by hip hop, and you know, just able to grow up and learn it as a language and share it with so many other people who look like me or don't look like me. It's really cool to see like this thing, you know what I mean? And it caught me to where I was like, I think I could do that. But there's a lot of people who just enjoy it. And that's what it should be celebrated for, is just how good it is and how it makes people feel.
Oh man, I mean, just if we look at it as a career, like I was just thinking about the other day, it made me kind of emotional about, like, I've helped my mom, got a car and like got my own house, and and honestly, just because I was a fan and I supported it, and that was it. I didn't have to buy my way in or fake myself way in, or it was so natural to be an older dude on the radio, and Wiz was younger, and just watch him, help him naturally, and not try to take him out of his place either. Like, I just supported the way I would anyone that I thought was dope. So I just, the culture word, the C word for me is culture is so important, because if it's treated like that, I think you have something to look at, to look back on. And here we are at a country festival about to do a hip hop show.
Hey, man, I mean, it speaks, crazy, bro. That speaks for itself, bro. All right, last one and we out. What does the hip hop community mean to you? Like, man, like, I mean, bro, you've been doing it for years.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, you got a hip hop community in the States, around the world.
Yeah, I'm part of the hip hop community, man. I'm a fan first. And it's everything, because we're so impressionable. We learn everything from hip hop. We learn how to dress, we learn how to talk, we learn how to walk. And that shit sticks with you throughout your whole life. You might get a job or something like that, but you still gonna have that motherfucking Wu-Tang tat. You can't, you can cover it up, but it's still there, motherfucker. That's why it's important. Yeah.
I love it.
Community, man. I mean, still to this day, it's so great seeing my peers, especially like you, who are like becoming bosses in the game. Like the kids that we, grew up with are, they run labels and they're running, look at DJ Drama and all this. So it's like all these people that we came up with are making moves. They're bosses now. So it's like, it feels good to walk next to them. But, I just want to keep that community out there as well. Like, I think master of ceremonies should also be master of communities. And I think it's important for us to like, be leaders and still, Wiz is such a good guy to look up to. I mean, even with dropping songs like Peace and Love throughout a lot of demonic shit happening, I just think it's really bigger, and I think that vision is so important. So keeping that love in the hip hop and just keep being creators.
That's a perfect way to end it, man. Vision. That's a good word right there. Audacy Hip Hop Made, Mijo, Wiz Khalifa, DJ Bonics, Taylor,
gang.
Bam.